Good afternoon. I am Jasmine, a commissioned notary here in San Diego. Today we are talking about respectful notarization, especially for clients across the gender spectrum. Joining me is Harris. Welcome.
Hey. Thanks, Jasmine. I am Harris. I use they, them, their pronouns. I am originally from Imperial Beach, and I am in Hillcrest these days. I work in graphic design, I volunteer at the LGBTQ Youth Center, and I drink a lot of espresso and oat milk. This was my first time needing a notary, and it was not what I expected.
Totally understandable. Tell us what happened.
I had a power of attorney form that needed notarization. I walked into a small shipping store that offers notary services. I handed over my license. The notary looked at the photo, then at me, and they visibly winced and recoiled. It was not just a flinch, it was a whole microaggressive moment. Like their face contorted, they leaned back and I could feel the judgment radiate off them. Then came confusion with the use of sir and ma'am pronouns, and I no longer felt safe or welcome. I said thanks anyway and I left. No notarization, no signature, just disappointment and frustration.
That is unacceptable. For every notary listening, our job is to check IDs, witness signatures, make journal entries, and provide excellent client service. We are not judges, and we are not commentators. Under the law, we must act with political and secular impartiality. That means no bias, no judgment, and no discrimination.
Exactly. When you are gender non-binary, moments like that do not just sting, they stick. I walked in needing a legal service and walked out questioning whether I should have gone in at all. Trying to report it was confusing, and it did not feel built for people like me. Most of us do not file a report. It is not because this does not happen. It is because the system does not feel like it will help.
A lack of formal complaints does not equal a safe environment. Often, it means people do not feel safe enough to speak up. As notaries, we are bound by political and secular impartiality to serve everyone fairly, without bias, regardless of gender identity, presentation, or anything else.
Another point. No notary has the right to decide what my gender is. In that office, the notary looked me up and down and said, "You look more like a he to me. That is not your call. I did not ask for your opinion, and your job is not to assign my identity."
That behavior is discriminatory. No notary or any professional has the authority to assert or override someone's pronouns or gender identity. Our role is to verify identity, witness signatures, and serve the public with political and secular impartiality. Nothing more.
A word of grace for notaries who are learning. Mistakes can happen. If you misgender someone or react poorly, own it immediately, correct yourself, and give the same level of care you would give if you accidentally spilled hot coffee on a client. Apologize, make it right, and keep serving with respect.
Exactly. You do not get to decide the pronouns of another person. It's like, I told you who I am. Just roll with it, keep it moving, and we are good. Let us talk about ID and document name mismatches. It is sensitive, and we will stay in notary bounds.
What if the name on the document is my dead name, but my ID shows my current legal name? Some people say, bring 2 credible witnesses so you can sign the dead name. That feels like maybe it could be a good idea in some cases and maybe a bad idea in others. What do you think, Jasmine?
Here is a balanced way to explain options without giving legal advice. First, explain the rule in plain language. The name on the document and the name on the ID usually need to match, or you may need credible witnesses if state law allows them. Second, offer the credible witness option without pressure. If you prefer not to change the document, California and many other states' districts and territories permit the use of credible witnesses who can swear that the person signing as the document name is the same person shown on the ID. Make it clear it is the client's decision, not yours. Third, acknowledge the emotional weight. Signing a dead name can feel invalidating. Your goal is to get the job done while honoring the client's privacy and pronouns. Fourth, stay within notary bounds. You can describe options, but you cannot advise which one is legally best.
Let me add why this matters later. If you plan to leave the country before finishing the notarized parts of a name change, like updating your bank or other financial institutions, you may find that you cannot complete those updates from abroad. Many institutions will point you to a United States consulate, or you will need to return to the United States. Visiting a consulate can feel ominous for LGBTQ people, especially given how hostile the current administration, as of 2025, is toward our community. The safest path is to complete these notarized steps before you leave, so your ID and documents match when you need them. Credible witnesses are a valid option, but if using witnesses means your signed document carries a name that does not match your current ID, that mismatch can create bottlenecks later with banks, travel, records, or other verifications. If you can align your ID and documents now, you reduce those headaches down the road. Now, one more thing I want to point out before I forget. The most important part when there is a situation in this area that feels unfamiliar to you, the notary, your overall tone is paramount. If a notary says, "Tough luck," it has to match. "I will feel attacked." If the notary says, "Here are the choices and I understand this is hard," I, the client, am more likely to continue. It's about empathy and setting aside your biases.
Exactly. It is about excellent client service, patience, empathy, clear explanations, and political and secular impartiality from start to finish. If a photo ID does not quite match the person in front of you, start here. This photo is a bit dated. Do you have a second form of ID? Depending on the document and the receiving party, some clients choose to use credible witnesses or to work with a commissioned remote online notary in a state that permits remote online notarization. Remote sessions are video recorded, and the recording is often kept for years. The client decides whether that retention meets their privacy comfort. Once a signer shares their pronouns, use them. If you slip, correct it. Give a brief apology and move on.
Right. No need for awkward jokes or over-apologizing. Just fix it and stay professional. Also, speaking of remote or virtual notarizations, please note that some banking institutions do not accept a remote online notarized document for name change. A friend of mine had this experience with Bank of America. A traditional ink and pen notarization may be required. It is wise to call your financial institution and find out first before you get started with the notarization process.
Here is a quick checklist for notaries. Verify identity using the tools your state provides. Maintain political and secular impartiality at all times. Keep personal politics and religion off the signing table. Respect pronouns. Misgendering is discrimination. You are not there to define someone's gender. If you make a mistake, address it with the same care you would show in the spilled coffee scenario.
For clients like me, you have options. You can find another notary who respects you. Check out the LGBTQ Notary Association. LGBTQ Notary Association has a directory of notaries who understand and who treat you with respect. For well-qualified notaries who take impartiality seriously and want to help you through all of life's changes and evolutions, please visit lgbtnotary.com.
The LGBTQ Notary Association provides education, advocacy, and a national directory so clients can find affirming service and notaries can stay accountable. Summary for notaries. Your duty is political and secular impartiality. Check IDs, witness signatures, make journal entries, and serve clients respectfully. Misgendering is discrimination. You do not assert someone's gender. Handle ID to document mismatches with empathy, clarity, and no legal advice. Summary for clients. You deserve a safe, judgment-free notarization. You do not owe anyone explanations. Use the LGBTQ Notary Association directory to find an affirming provider. If something goes wrong, document it. Your story matters.
Transition is personal. Legal paperwork is professional. Keep them separate.
Harris, thank you for your time and your voice today. Let us make every signing safe, respectful, and anchored in political and secular impartiality.
Catch you later. San Diego, California, the United States, and the world over. Our identities are valid, and our documents should be too.
Thanks to everyone for listening. Until next time, stay respectful and stay impartial.